We're live. Hello, it's Bill, the knee pain guru. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Beck show.
How are you?
Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning.
We got questions this week.
We do. Excellent.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me change something here. And we also have you want to see our Comella Foundation donate promo? For those that are watching, hold on a second. Here we go. Our mission at the Comella Foundation is to relieve pain naturally using osteopathic healing principles. The Comella Foundation is recognized as a nonprofit 501c3 under the Internal Revenue Code. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. Please consider taking a moment and donating to the Comella Foundation to help us continue our important pain relieving work. Every little bit helps. Our mission. How about that?
That was awesome.
Yeah, we're getting there. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So
what questions are there?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get. We had one come in. Let's see here. It says, "Hello, Dr. Beck. I got my physical exam today, and it says I got iron deficiency anemia.
Okay.
It can be one of the reasons why I suffered from headaches and felt dizzy and tired all the time. In addition, I have back pain and knee pain, especially on my right knee, which bothers me from doing sports like swimming and jogging. Can you please let me know if I can do anything to improve on my situation? Regards, Chun-Wei."
Okay, so I'm breaking it down in my mind. We've got back pain, knee pain, and anemia.
Knee pain, and anemia.
Okay. Let's assume for the moment that they are all separate issues and they are not interrelated. Okay?
Okay.
So iron deficiency anemia is exactly what it says. You are deficient in iron.
Okay.
And at least the way that we learned at medical school, I'm assuming that still works this way, is that iron in the body is like a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
You've got iron in the bank account. Every day you make a withdrawal. Theoretically, every time you eat and you eat something with iron in it, you make a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to not deposit for 3 months before you wind up with iron deficiency anemia.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a fair amount of reserve. But what that means is that either you are not taking in iron and or you are not able to absorb the iron that you are taking in. Okay, so the simple solution is if you eat meat, eat red meat. The red is iron. It is from blood.
Mm.
If you do not eat meat, eat foods that are high in iron, like spinach, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to do that for a little while. You can also take supplementations. Supplements, typically the iron supplements are very poorly absorbed. You take an iron oxide pill, you absorb 1%, and literally you poop out the other 99%. There's a product on the market called Floradix, Floradix, which is available at health food stores, which has about a 10% absorption.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get your iron up more quickly, Floradix is the way to go. All right. So then over time, that will take care of the anemia. You start to notice changes within a couple of days, but it takes a while for everything to build back up and the bloods to come back to normal. And then the way to keep it from happening is to continue to take in iron. Okay. So that's pretty simple for the iron deficiency anemia. Knee pain. Go ahead.
Oh,
yes, please.
You had said that if a person has difficulty or challenges absorbing iron,
yep,
would what you suggested have any impact of if a person isn't able to absorb iron, or is there another?
Yes, there's a possibility that if you really were having trouble, you might need an IV with iron in the IV.
So it's more of a gut issue that the body isn't able to absorb
yes
the iron. Got it. So you go directly in intravenous and
Correct.
then got it. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so knee pain. Well, we talked to the knee pain guru. That's easy.
Well, yes, relatively speaking. Structure governs function. So if we get the relationship of that. However, this is a client that I'd been working with for a while, and there's a level of stress, not sleeping, and other things that are going on that make the neurology difficult to fire, to release the tension patterns for them to relax. So
that makes then it brings up a different question. In order for us to be relatively pain-free, we have to produce testosterone.
Okay.
So when we are stressed, the cholesterol pathway, which takes in cholesterol, whether we take it in from the outside or whether we make it inside of our body, the cholesterol pathway then breaks down the cholesterol molecule, basically breaks the chole off of it, and leaves the sterol molecule. The sterol molecule is what we build our steroid hormones around. Okay, so if you're a male, it's mostly testosterone. If you're female, it's estrogen, progesterone, although each sex has each one of those, just in different amounts. So when your sleep goes down and your stress goes up, you shunt cholesterol into making cortisol, also known as adrenaline. Okay. And we make a bit of that every day, whether we're stressed or not. We make a bit. If we're stressed, we tend to use a little bit more than we make, which leaves us deficient. And basically what that means is that it's taking away the cholesterol from the building of sex hormones and putting it into building the stress hormone, cortisol. Okay, now what happens is short term, no big deal. A couple days, we can deal with that. That's what we're designed to do. If it's a long-term thing, then you start showing the signs of cortisol excess, which is weight around the middle. You start looking like a pear. Okay. And your sleep fails and your hormones go down. And if your hormones go down, your pain levels go up. So one of the things that you can do to help pain is find balance in your life.
I'm taking some notes here.
Okay.
Yes. And that's one of those things that sometimes it's a choice to make, and others, due to situations beyond everyone's control, there just isn't that possibility of changing things at the moment. So it's a little bit of damage control.
And that is then a reframing of the situation. That helps. So what's interesting is there are times when we may be stressed because we don't know the outcome of the future. Okay. When that matters is if you're locked in a tank, a big aquarium with a man-eating shark, and you're the only food source.
Right.
Okay. It's okay to be stressed. You got to figure that one out. If you're stuck in a cage with a man-eating animal, you got to figure that one out. Those our bodies are wired for. We freak out in the moment. When the moment is done, we hyperventilate or whatever. We come back and we are balanced. Okay? But typically those are short-term events. If you're in a longer-term event that you feel like you have no control over, you got to accept the fact that you have no control, focus on the things you can control, and let God take care of the rest.
Yep. I got you. So that would tie in with the back pain as well.
Exactly.
It's going to be a similar situation.
And there certainly can be a mechanical component.
Sure.
But one of the tricks to healing is to make sure that you give the body the things that it needs to heal.
Right.
So adequate water, adequate nutrition, adequate sleep or rest.
Mm-hmm. As I yawn. Are we back? Are you back?
Yep, I'm back.
We're back. It was funny. You were saying getting more rest as I was yawning.
Yes. And balance in your life was the last part.
Okay. Cool. Was there anything else tie in with that question?
Find somebody who can do the mechanical work, at least evaluate you and see if there's some mechanical things going on. But that's it.
Got it. Let's see. Last week we took a little detour and we talked about mammograms and breast health.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really interesting one. So that one was last week, and we're starting to label these a little different, so it makes it easier to find instead of just posting the date. So
Okay.
That's going to be helpful for those that are watching. And before that, what the track that we were going on was TMJ, jaw pain, jaw tension, tooth stuff, and this was a couple of weeks ago. This would have been the date on that would have been on the November 3rd. You went into detail on, excuse me, on that piece. And then we were going to delve deeper in different directions because you had outlined how from here to here we could have 3 different specialists that aren't even talking to each other based on what might have happened in the mouth or in the jaw as a result of an injury. And was there I believe we had talked about, we had a question that came in. Hold on a second here. Kathy, let's see. Maybe we'll talk about this. What is the osteopathic treatment for 4 herniated discs in the lower lumbar spine, L2 and 3 through L5S1?
So the first thing that 4 herniated discs tell me is that the tensegrity system is not functioning well at all.
Well, I got something really cool. Before you go into that, I want to share the screen. I got something. This is what I found during a training yesterday. Share screen. There we go. You may have seen this, but I thought this was cool as all get out.
Yep. Pelvis and lumbar spine.
Yep.
Sticks and yarn, basically.
Yeah.
And what you'll notice is if you go to the balls that represent the body of the vertebra, there's a space in between each of the balls, right? That space is filled by the intervertebral disc. But what you notice in the model, and this is the way it should be in the body, that space is always there, no matter how much stress is put on the model, as long as the tensegrity system works.
Mm.
And so basically what that means is that the intervertebral discs are there as a backup, a failsafe.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you rupture a disc, or more than one in this case, that means that you have then fallen back on your failsafe, and in a way that you were able to rupture 4 discs. So the first part of the treatment osteopathically is to get that stress off the spine by restoring full motion. Okay. If a disc is truly ruptured, the nucleus pulposus, which is the jelly inside the donut that is the intervertebral disc,
so in this picture, where would that?
Right there.
Right there. So it's in between there. That's the jelly.
Correct. And well, it's like a donut in between.
Okay.
It's got the annulus or circular fibrosis, so it's very fibrous. It's like a ring shape, like a donut. And then on the inside is the nucleus pulposus, which is like the jelly in a jelly-filled donut. And when you actually rupture a disc or herniated disc, that nucleus pulposus comes out. Okay, so the donut tears in some way, shape, or form. And the nucleus pulposus comes out. That fluid is acidic to the body. Okay. And so for that reason, it's an irritant, which means that when you herniate a disc, you're in pain.
Right.
You can't move to get the pain to go away because the nerves are irritated. And so tincture of thyme is the thing that allows the irritation to go down. Okay. But that still leaves us with less than normal disc height space. So what you do is you restore the tensegrity system. That's the first part of the answer, and that's going to take one or more treatments.
Right.
From there, everybody is different in their journey about how they got to the place of the herniated discs. And so every story and how to correct them is going to be unique. Okay? But I will give you the broad overview. So I'm going to look at the ligaments around the vertebra. Okay? And if you go back to the model, those ligaments are pretty much represented by the string. Okay, just so that you get a sense of where they are. There are ligaments that go from side to side, the transverse processes. So if you go kind of all the way out to the side, right there, go out, that right there, the up and down string.
Up right in here.
Nope, go out. The one that's on the outside.
This one right here.
That one right there, yeah.
Okay.
That in between those two in the real human body is something called the inter-transverse ligament. It goes between the two transverse processes. Spinous process is the little piece of wood that's coming out the back.
Right.
Okay. And nope, the one that's coming straight out the back.
Straight out. That one.
The topmost.
Oh, wait.
That thing right there. Yep. That's the spinous process.
What? Wait a minute. I see this as the pubic bone. Am I?
I think you're talking about sacrum.
This is this.
So the way I'm seeing it is that if we look at the very top representation of the vertebra,
this one,
that piece that's coming out the back represents the spinous process in the human.
Okay, got it.
And that spinous process is posterior. Now, it may just be because that's how they built the model, and I may be seeing it completely wrong.
Okay.
Maybe the same on the other side, but we're going to assume at the moment that is the backside.
Okay, got it.
So if that's the spinous process, in between the spinous processes are the interspinous ligament. So that goes in between the little finger sticking out the back. The string represents the supraspinous ligament, the ligament that's above the spinous processes.
Right.
Okay? All of those ligaments, along with the bony representation of how the vertebrae go together, provide support for the vertebra. Okay? They limit its motion, and they help to suspend it in space. So in order to evaluate those herniated discs, you then need to do a probe with your fingertip and find out if anything's sore in there. If it's sore, it's likely because it's damaged. And so then you correct the damage with something like prolotherapy. That helps to restore the tensegrity system.
Got it.
Okay. There are all kinds of other things that you could put in there. You could use frequencies, whether they're in the auditory spectrum, so something in the range of a massager, for example, or something like ultrasound. You could use laser. Different colors do different things inside the body. You could use the vibration of essential oils. And you can use medicines and herbs. Again, because everyone's journey to get to the place of rupturing discs is individual and unique, so should be their treatment.
Got it. Okay. Structure governs function. Cool. So that is what is the osteopathic treatment for 4 herniated discs in the lower lumbar spine. I think what's really helpful is the visual. When you get your brain around, like, okay, the pain's in the back. What's going on back there? And we can get a visual as far as when we talk about tensegrity as it relates to the body. Sure, we can talk about bicycle wheels or geodesic domes and things like that. But when you could see a visual of what a tensegrity structure is set up in the spinal column, especially around the area that the person is struggling with or Kathy is struggling with, that, okay, got it. There's some imbalance in there causing an impingement, causing a squeezing, causing a collapse of that. And now we got issues. So, okay, well, cool. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks for the question. There are some other people on here as well. If you have questions for Dr. Beck, please enter those in the comments section of the live chat. Kathy continues, I never had lower back pain until I saw a chiropractor. L3 has the most pain, which affects my knees/thighs. You want to answer that one? You want to comment on that one, Charlie?
That one's apparently radioactive.
Literally. You tell us stories about how chiropractic developed. You want to tell us stories there first, or you want
to? Chiropractic was a spinoff of early osteopathy. How about that? That's our story.
That's our story.
So without knowing what the chiropractor did in the treatment, it's hard to make a blanket statement about what's going on in the body. What it sounds like is that, Kathy, for you, L3 is still restricted and not moving well. Okay. Now, what we learned in osteopathic school is basically how to read the body so that the body tells you where to begin. And the way it was explained by my mentor was think of the patient as a bank vault. And the bank vault has a combination on it. And in order to unlock the patient's health, you have to open the bank vault. And so what they do is they come in and they literally lay the numbers out in front of you in random order. And in order to unlock the patient's health, you just have to give them to the body in the order the body needs. When you do that, the safe opens. If you do it the incorrect sequence, nothing happens. And that is the thing that I see most often amongst practitioners, is that they, rather than listening to the body, they say, oh, I'm going to do this first, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, rather than listening to the patient and the patient's body.
Can we talk about maybe a best case scenario with what's going on with what happened with the chiropractor, which would be they adjusted something and now instead of it being all of those 4 vertebrae, now it's just one, that they've improved the situation and now the awareness is just in one area as opposed to. a
I would,
greater.
I would say there's still dysfunction in one area.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which brings the awareness to that place.
Got it.
Absolutely. So yes, that could very well be a best case scenario. And that perhaps another treatment or two resolves the pain completely.
Got it. Because I'll in the clients that I work with their knees, sometimes the pain will move. They'll resolve the pain on the inside part of the meniscus, and they resolve it, and now all of a sudden the fibula starts bugging them or something like that on the outside.
Sure.
So, but it's like, how do we continue to keep that level of comfort up as the body lets go of what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, there you go, Kathy. Good potential possibility. Those two questions bring us at 26 minutes ish. Maybe we'll put off the jaw stuff.
Yep.
Till next week. We'll talk about that next week. Go in depth more.
Sounds good. And next week, I work on Wednesday because of the holiday.
Okay.
So whether we want to move it to a different date next week or skip a week, I'll leave that up to you.
Okay. Well, which day? We could figure it out right now.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Today, Thursday, next week. So you want to do it on Thanksgiving?
Sure.
We could wear like Santa hats or something like that.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll find a Santa hat.
Cool. Okay. Perfect. Then we'll bump it to Thursday. I'll make sure that's adjusted for next week. If anybody who's watching the replay has any questions, type those in the comments section below. You can go to the link that we have in the description box below this video, as well as the URL that's on the screen right now, ComellaFoundation.org, ask-Dr-Beck, and you can submit your questions there as well. And we read those live each week for whatever you're dealing with, to kind of give you a different perspective, a different understanding, a holistic approach to resolving what you have as far as pain goes. Let's see. Anything else? We'll wrap this up with the donation video.
Oh, there you go.
How about that? So, cool. You're all good. Anything else you want to touch on or share with anybody?
I'm good, my friend.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you very much, your knowledge, experience, and wisdom. And we're going to go play a video, and then we'll scoot. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much. Our mission at the Comella Foundation is to relieve pain naturally using osteopathic healing principles. The Comella Foundation is recognized as a nonprofit 501c3 under the Internal Revenue Code. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. Please consider taking a moment and donating to the Comella Foundation to help us continue our important pain-relieving work. Every little bit helps.